What's up, guys? Roblox Daddy-O here, and today I'm going to show you how to macro these portals to where you can get, let's see, I just did it overnight. I want to say it was probably about 8 hours, and I had about 4 million ectoplasm, or 4 million cursed souls. Was able to draw quite a bit. Was not able to get the paradox unit, unfortunately, but was able to get quite a bit of ectoplasm, and get the secret portals, as you can see right here. Got 4 of them. I think this one is for Sakuna, I think. But yeah, so I was able to run that all night while I slept. Pretty easy to do, so we're going to just go to the hardest portal we can do, and I'm going to show you all how to TinyTask this. Now, it's pretty simple. Of course, it's going to be unit dependent on what you have, but my son has 1 Eternal, and it didn't even look like he actually needed it. I have quite a few Eternals, so it makes it a little bit easier on me. I get them done a little bit quicker. But yeah, let's hop right into it. So at the start, typically whenever I start my TinyTask, I start the map and I let them, or before I start the TinyTask, I start the map and let myself lose. But you can't do that on these portals because you will actually lose the portal. At least in my experience, that's what's happened to me. So I'm going to go ahead and vote start, and I'm going to run this through and complete it. All right, so we just completed the portal. All right, as you can see, tier 13, you get 19,000 ectoplasm and another portal. So this is where I start my TinyTask. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit record. Boom, and then use portal. Now, the portals typically stay in the same place even after you get a secret. So it's going to be in the same static location where your portals are. You're going to go ahead and hit that. And then once you hit the portal, I always hit the vote start like 3 or 4 times. I didn't do it on that one because I'm a dummy. But so I place that first unit down, and then I place it a couple more times just to make sure that it places. Same thing with my second unit. And then my last unit, you want to make sure that it gets placed. And then I pop down my Bulma and auto upgrader. Then I patiently wait. Once Bulma is maxed out, then I go ahead and place the rest of my units. Now, you may have to fiddle with this a little bit to figure out what works for you to where you get all of your units covered. All right, now after all my units are placed down, then again, make sure you place them multiple times to make sure that they get placed down. All right. All my units are placed. After all my units are placed, then I hit F for my time. Then I press F for my unit manager, and I go ahead and auto upgrade my strongest units. I go ahead and leave that up on the screen, and you got to do this kind of quick because these waves are really short. And the faster you get your units upgraded, the faster the runs will be. All right. Now they're fully upgraded. Now I'm going to go ahead and click auto upgrade on these. And then I hit F to bring back down the task manager. And I let it play out. So I see a lot of people get impatient whenever they're trying to do TinyTask. My son was one of them, and I had to teach him, hey, it may be a pain in the butt to go, or to start. It may be a pain in the butt, but once you get it set up, you're good to leave it all day. So you can go ahead and click through here. Now, what I do for about 30 seconds is I just sit here and click. Because sometimes the timing, especially in this game, sometimes the timing is off, and you may complete the map a little bit later. So I just sit here and click. Like right now, I'm just constantly clicking through. And I sit there and click for about 30 extra seconds after it's passed, or after the map's completed. And then I hit record again. And then I go into preferences. I hit continuous playback. Get that off the screen. So typically what I try to do, so let's go ahead and hit play just to make sure it's working. All right, now my hand is off the mouse. It's going. So typically what I try to do whenever I'm doing these things, just to make sure there's no issues, because whenever your computer's running this overnight or anything like that, it can cause some issues. Like as far as lag and stuff like that, which will again screw up your timing. So what I try to do before I start this, and I don't have it set up right now, but I go into my settings, as you can see in the bottom right hand side of the screen, I go into my settings and I turn off the unit effects and cutscenes. And then I go into my graphics settings on Roblox, which is in the top left, and I turn my graphics all the way down. This just helps to ensure that I don't have any issues as I'm playing, nothing that causes any kind of lag or anything like that, since it will be running all night. But yeah, so as you guys can see, it's playing through. I'm going to go ahead and let it go just to show you guys that it works. Let it play through. I know that it makes the video a little bit longer. For those of you that might be impatient, this might be where you click off. But I'm going to let it play through, and you can see that it's working completely. You can see that it's making sure that all my units are placed. Now, again, this is all going to be team dependent. So, like, you're going to have to figure out what your strongest units are. You can check out a unit tier list or anything like that. You're going to have to figure out what your strongest units are and how you want to place them down. If you've already won this map, you probably have a good idea of what units work for you to where you can beat it. You want to make sure you place those down first as your entry point. TinyTask does read if you grab the scroll bar, as you'll see here in just a second on my right hand side. You'll see I grabbed the scroll bar right here. Yep, and it'll actually pick that up. Do not use your scroll wheel. I don't know if it actually reads the scroll wheel or not, but I just imagine a scroll wheel will be inconsistent. You want to actually grab the bar and move it down. But yeah, as you can see, we're going to be playing it through. TinyTask is working like it's supposed to, and then I would just leave this running for as long as possible. Now, I was doing it quite a bit quicker on my one that I was running last night. This one was a little bit slower because I was explaining things as I went through. I think I was able to do it in about 2 minutes. Like each new one was going about every 2 minutes and 40 seconds, I think. But see, I completed that one. Actually, it took that one took a little bit longer than the other one. But because I sat here clicking at the end, don't have any timing issues or anything like that. And that's like, if your macro stops working, that's what it is. It's a timing issue. You time something incorrectly, or you didn't place your units down, or you only placed the unit one time, and then sometimes you'll have issues where it will skip. And it'll skip placing down that unit, and that'll throw off your timing completely. So you want to make sure that you're trying to place these units over and over and over again to make sure that they get placed. But anyways, guys, appreciate y'all being here. I'll go ahead and put TinyTask download in the description so you can get it downloaded and you can try to run this macro yourselves. I appreciate y'all being here. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.